I think one of the biggest limiting beliefs people have when it comes to creating success in their own life is that they're not capable. Like maybe they didn't have the right upbringing, they didn't know the right people, they didn't go to the right schools. And 12 years ago, that's when my life really turned around, right? I found myself attaching myself to all these stories. I allowed myself, if you will, to adopt a victimhood mindset. And I became very depressed. So I dropped out of college, got really depressed. It kept escalating more and more and more. Depression came to daily thoughts about committing suicide. So I started asking myself, well, what would make me fulfilled? What would truly make me happy as a human being? And I had no idea, right? I couldn't get clarity on what I wanted. So I started just making a list of things I didn't want. At that time I was making $10 an hour as a nurse's aide at a local hospital, and I hated always being broke. So I immediately just started working on the things that I knew I didn't like about myself, and I started taking action on those things, and then I just kind of started creating these small little successes, small little wins, and I decided at that point I needed to get into some type of an industry, some type of a field where I could be more in control of my income and go out there and make the money that I knew I really wanted to make to create that fulfillment for me. And then I decided at that point that I needed to get into ownership, to really go out there and create the opportunities for myself. I didn't have a family at that point, but I knew I wanted a future family, and to create the opportunities I wanted to create for them, I needed to be in more control of my fate. So I jumped into real estate, started having some success in real estate, started going out there and getting certain awards in real estate. I became the 30th top realtor in America by the Wall Street Journal, won National Association of Realtors 30 Under 30, so that led to being asked to do a lot of speaking events and being featured on other people's podcasts and radio shows, which then led to a lot of people reaching out to me asking for coaching, consulting. And during that search process, that's then where I discovered webinars, right? I knew at that point I wanted to go out there and create group training products, but then it's like, okay, I've got this great product, I've got this great training available, how the hell do I sell it? So then at that point, I'm going through my Facebook news feed and I'm seeing all these again, gurus teaching you how to do webinars. So I just started taking them all, right? I didn't know who Lewis was initially before I took his webinar, but I'm taking all these webinars and I'm like, all right, the webinar that I jump on that has me just like begging to sign up, right? Like I want to have my credit card out of my wallet before they even tell me the price of the product that they're selling. Because that's the experience I wanted to create. So I was waiting for that webinar to enter my life, and I knew that was the trainer that I was going to model. And Lewis was it. I signed up for his product, did his training, and it changed my life. So it's not just taking the training, right? I mean, I was smart enough to understand, like, I don't have to, all this stuff doesn't need to make sense to me. If I just do what this guy is doing, I'll get the same results. Before taking his program, like an amazing, crazy, epic month for me would be 20 grand in gross revenue, which sounds like a lot of money, but the difference with taking Lewis's program is instantaneously my webinar sales results, my revenue went to over $100,000 every single month. I did 1.2 million in gross revenue after the first 12 months of following Lewis's programs and following his training, again, just modeling it exactly to what he said. If I want to go spend time with my kids, I go spend my time with my kids. When my kids go to bed, then I get to work. Through having success in webinars, that has now created where I'm either a sole owner or a partner in 8 different companies. Everything ranging from real estate to software development to supplement lines in the health and fitness industry. So a lot of different spaces out there. These have all built off of and originated from getting good at webinars, right? From taking Lewis's training, learning how to master that space, and then it created exposure, it got other eyeballs, it got attention in other ways that now has led to all of these other relationships. But it's been the first time in my life that I've owned my schedule. Well, especially now I have 3 young kids, I don't have to miss out on an event. I don't have to miss out on a kid's assembly that they're getting an award. There's no reason ever that I can't make those things happen now that I own my own schedule. My name is Joshua Smith. I live here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm an entrepreneur or have partnerships in 8 different companies, everything from the real estate industry to the health and fitness industry to the software industry.